please remember to leave a like, a comment, share the video about, and if you haven't already, subscribe. Thank you. Well, isn't this just fantastic? Captain's log, subjects 230223.7. While the smelting and penetrating continue, I am personally scouring the first floor to ensure there are no forks left. We'll give the spoons a fair chance, but not the blasphemous pork scourge. Welcome everyone to the exhibition of stupid people. Today we are going to start with Harry and Meghan Markle, courtesy of South Park. Because, if you don't know this already, South Park have a very good reputation for mocking literally everyone, to the point they tried to mock Muhammad, but they had to put a bar over him to censor him, which then became a running gag for an entire episode. But there is in fact an uncensored version of Muhammad if you aren't as sensitive to things like that as others are. I get the whole take offense and you are well within your right to do so. I don't want it to get to a stage where people like Meghan Markle and Harry are the same, because everyone should be mocked. Everyone across all of time, all of existence, past, present, and future. Why? Because once you determine who cannot be, you are setting up everything possible to prevent the ability to freely express and speak, and I cannot abide that. So, Harry and Meghan have yet to publicly speak about last week's episode of South Park, presumably because they don't have the staff left to formulate a press release. But California sources claim that Meghan has spent the past few days upset and overwhelmed about how she was portrayed. I do like the sly dig about not having the staff left to formulate a press release. If you've read anything about Harry and Meghan over the past 3 years, you'd think the pair would be delighted with how South Park parodied them. The entire episode, titled The Worldwide Privacy Tour, gives them enough fodder to moan for a few more books or Netflix documentaries or Spotify podcasts. Meghan can cry about how she is a victim of misogyny, and Harry can claim that this was all a narrative concocted by the big bad press. That article is by The Spectator, but let's go to the New York Post. Some had speculated that Harry and Meghan would sue South Park for mocking them, but representatives for them have said that the idea of the episode having legal ramifications are baseless and boring. That's good. In the episode of South Park, the characters are described as Canadian royalty who moved to a fictional town for privacy and are called the Prince and his wife. The wife character, which fans likened as Markle, is described as a sorority girl actress, influencer, and victim, to which she replies, "Yeah, that's totally me." The couple then adamantly continue to say they want privacy while staying in the public eye, including one scene where they go on the talk show Good Morning Canada to promote the Prince's new book, Wah, which is a remark a bit tongue-in-cheek like to Harry's memoir Spare. I guess in this though it's not wah, orc, more wah, crybaby. What really makes the episode stand out is that this is basically Harry and Meghan, not even a parody. It's a straight up, let's just show you what you actually are. If Harry and Meghan can look at that and say, okay, perhaps we've been handling this wrong, fantastic. South Park have been doing this for years. They mocked Tom Cruise because Tom Cruise can't handle banter. He also doesn't like it when you tell him he's short, or that he's had plastic surgery, or that Scientology is a cult. The point remains, everything about the episode is accurate. It is speculated this could not have come at a worse time, because she is currently in litigation with her half-sister, Samantha Markle, who sued her for defamation following the Oprah Winfrey interview. Previously, Meghan had actually filed a motion to stop depositions in the case from taking place, but Florida Judge Charlene Edwards said nah. You can also add to that, currently, preparations are underway for the coronation of King Charles III, Harry's father. They are trying to decide, Harry and Meghan, or Meghan more notably, whether to attend or not. Optics say they should, but optics also say, no, we can't fraternize with subordinates, even if one of those subordinates paid for the house we live in, i.e. the king. What's really started this downward, let's say, not necessarily spiral, more fall, actually stems from Harry's memoir, Spare or Wah, which has been described as a 400-page therapy session, also considered to that of a angry, drunk text, one of the longest in fact. My view is simple. You were in your ivory tower so long you didn't realize the rest of us moved on. We don't actually care about Harry's upbringing. We don't care about his love life. We care that when he was an active member of the royal family, he and his brother were the closest they could be. Then he gets married and builds his own family. Fantastic news. And he decides to up and leave his duties, which he is well within his right to do, but then to make it all about himself and how the media were in his face, unironically using the same media though to get his message across, championed by others because they knew they could make money out of it, but not because they cared, showing how remarkably feeble, fickle, and well, brittle you really are. South Park parodied you because you are a joke. A joke that many don't take seriously because they have no reason to. Your message carries no weight because you have all the integrity of a cold caller trying to sell you insurance. Moving on from that, we're going to now talk about Hogwarts Legacy, because Hogwarts Legacy has been banned from some events, and we should talk about that. Games Done Quick's next charity event, called Frost Fatales 2023, is scheduled to take place on Sunday the 26th of February until March the 5th, the following Sunday. The schedule promises a wide variety of games that you can watch people speedrun through, ranging from retro classics to more modern releases. However, Hogwarts Legacy is not on the schedule, not because of how recent the game is, but instead because all Harry Potter video games have been axed from Games Done Quick events. Games Done Quick haven't actually released a formal statement on the matter, but someone noticed its disallowed games list included the entire Harry Potter series. The list is games that they deemed to be unsuitable for live stream events due to their content, views, or origin. Now obviously the reason why is because J.K. Rowling's comments and views on transgender people have, well, rubbed a lot of people up the wrong way, which obviously means she is cancelled, as is anything else connected to her, although as she herself has pointed out multiple times, her royalty checks would indicate otherwise. I assume it won't be long until her books, much like that of Roald Dahl's, get an update. Warner Brothers themselves have had to continually stress that J.K. Rowling had no involvement in the development of the more recent Harry Potter video game, i.e. Hogwarts Legacy. Hogwarts Legacy, though, also faces accusations of anti-Semitism due to its depiction of goblins, which are believed to be based on harmful Jewish stereotypes, and not the mythical creature from ancient Greece. Some people really are stupid, by the way. I just want to insert that it's obvious they are, but if you don't know human history, you don't have to tell me you don't know. Comments like that confirm it. JK does herself no favours in a number of instances, but we all know the origins of goblins, especially if you know anything about fantasy. It should be pointed out though, on the official website, it states that Harry Potter games are subject to further review in the future, which does in turn suggest that Games Done Quick could always rescind the ban at some point. No doubt, when everything blows over and it is safe for them to milk it for whatever views it has left in it. I was in a VC on my Discord server the other day, and in the VC it was mentioned another streamer was playing Hogwarts Legacy, someone that averaged between 3,000 to 4,000 viewers live. Fantastic stuff. They had 25% of that audience watching them though play Hogwarts Legacy, because many people were calling them out for having the audacity to play a game that many have said is quite good, and is actually a little bit more progressive than people realise, considering it is set in a very old time. Not that that matters. Anything that could be tangibly connected to J.K. Rowling is well and truly as is often the case, which is quite embarrassing at this point that people still can't get off their high horses long enough to simply play a game and enjoy the game as a game, without thinking, but it's got Harry Potter associated to it, Hogwarts, all that is JK, therefore JK bad, this game bad. Guilt by association, essentially. What a sad state of affairs that people still use that as a reason to, well, not involve themselves in enjoying a game that people have been wanting for years. Piggybacking off the successes of other open world games for other much beloved franchises. Apparently, virtue signaling and moral outrage is worth more to you than a bit of fun. So next we're going to go to an honourable mention. The band Steel Panther, whose new album I am waiting for. I'm actually quite excited. I've always loved their music. The reason why is because it's set in the 80s, it is a parody, they're very good at what they do, they know their lane, they know their markets, they stay within it. Because if they went into the 90s, what the hell would they do? Grunge? Grunge was crap. There's an article written by Metal Sucks that leads with, there was a time when I thought Steel Panther were great. Talking about Balls Out, the second album, that was 12 years ago, admittedly feeling old and now tired of their shtick. And that during a recent interview with a YouTuber called Jasper, Satchel likens the band's approach to humour to that of a stand-up comic, saying you can say things that offend some people, but they're gonna give you a long leash. because they're like, well, that's my buddy. He says inappropriate things at times, it doesn't matter. And they'll all have your back till the end of the show. And for us, even though we might lose a small percentage of people, and they're going to walk out and go, F that band, I'm never going to see him again. And more often than not, we get people that go, I'm going to come back for more. I'm going to see him again. And that's what it's all about. The article continues saying that while they agree normally with Satchel, they've seen the band multiple times and realise that, well, people don't realise it's a joke. And it's their shtick of being in the 80s is no longer a thing. I mean, at least they're consistent in this, talking about in every single song, having sex, partying, catching STIs, and other, 80s cliche things that could still be relevant to this day, to be honest. Finishing at the end of the article saying, the idea of we've got to be offensive for the sake of being offensive is a little boring. The thing is, that's not what they're doing. They've been consistent throughout for nearly 6 albums. It'll be 6 when the new one comes out. It's just that window of acceptable commentary, in the form of artistic creation, music included, is getting smaller. Therefore, more people will take offense because they can't understand how this can exist. It is a parody band though. I still want a Satchel signature guitar though. If they can do them on left-handed, that'd be great. So the final story of the day, we need to talk about Mars Wrigley. US regulators have fined them, the maker of Snickers and Skittles, because 2 of their workers last June at a Pennsylvania factory fell into a tank of chocolate. This comes across as a scene from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. The Occupational Safety and Health Administration in turn fined them $14,500, which was described as serious in a report. Employees of an outside employer cleaned the tanks. This including the Dove Chocolate Batching 20-micron tank, owned by the on-site host employer Mars Wrigley. Mars Wrigley had failed to provide the contractors with adequate safety training. For example, when you fall into the chocolate, make sure you have a straw in your mouth so you can drink your way out, or you just go mouth open and go balls to the fecking wall. Don't forget, when you're cleaning the inside, use your tongue. Firefighters had to be called to rescue the workers by drilling a hole in the bottom of the tank and pulling them out. At the time, the chocolate was about waist high. What I'm hearing is someone may have peed in that. A spokesperson for Mars said that the safety of our associates are a top priority in the business, and that they appreciate the OSHA's collaborative approach. That's the Occupational Safety and Health Administration who fined them, to working with us to conduct the after-action review. I assume when they tested the batch of chocolate and found urine in it and possibly some other chocolatey-looking substance, they realised they could still sell that as M&Ms.